All right, it is now time for the third stage of Test 3. Personally, I like this third stage. I like what I did with it. For those who don't know, this was originally meant... I originally designed this before we recorded the Stage 3 of Test 2, but because some obstacles appeared in Stage 2 of Test 2, we went with the original Stage 3 for Test 2. And I really like this idea of having like a question in the beginning to determine the time limit. It's kind of like a penalty system, but it's like, it's the idea of your actions affecting how things are going to be going to affect you. And
let's find out.
I think it works well.
All right, now first,
and
subject number 8.0.
With
this question is, what is 30?
from the technical side, I actually have a lot of trouble with right there. You see the clock's acting all weird. I don't know. It's some sort of problem I had with the video editor. It didn't show up in editing. Basically, I had to like repeat clips that were 3 frames long, which is 1/10 of a second, and that was it just caused that little flickering between 2 times on the when after the video was rendered. Now, as for test subject 8.0, he had to do the physical portion. He had to start over because the guys, when they were resetting the anchor hoist, they decided to play a little joke and they tied the rope around one of the posts, making it impossible to climb up. It was actually really funny, and yeah, something that we like to watch. Yeah, it was all in good fun. So he had to restart. So that's why there was a little transition thing. Unfortunately, he wasn't very. I hate to make it sound like I'm crapping on him, but he didn't really pay attention to directions that very well, and it did hurt him a lot. But ultimately, he wasn't. He hurt his arms, it appears. Nah, I mean, it wasn't that bad. He was just tired. A little over-exaggerant. But, yeah, but any time that there was a transition in between the mental and physical portion, that there was some sort of either a large gap in time that was just, way too long for video, or there was some sort of reset. There'll be the various things explained. But, with the 10-second showdown, initially I didn't tell people that there were negative numbers in there, and there were, because that switched things up. I believe, I think there was like a couple of zeros in there too. If you were lucky enough to get a 0 in there. I probably should have told him. I think one person got a redo because he didn't realize that they're negative numbers, so it's being fair. And this was actually, I think, represents right here what was one of the biggest problems with Mercury Laboratories, I think, was the idea of if you get a penalty, are you allowed to continue or not? Because you see that uncertainty right there. We weren't sure if, I made a call, and I told him to move on, which wasn't fair to another individual who was in part 6. And I think that was kind of the problem with the penalty system, at least when it came to Mercury Laboratories, was this idea of whether or not they should continue or not, like how far is enough that they can continue with the penalty, or whether or not they have to start over. Now, as for test subject number 64 here, this is what you see here is actually his second time running stage 3. And he actually ran stage 3 before almost anyone ran stage 2, because he had to go. He had a other scheduled appointment that he had to get to, and he ended up doing the final stage at a different time. We'll talk about that when we get to part 7. But this is his second time running the physical part of stage 3, because he was the first person to run the course, and originally instead of the monkey gap, it was the bar hanger. Bar slider, excuse me. And the reason, and he fell when he attempted the obstacle. You actually see that in the intro for test 3, a part of the montage. I snuck it in there as a little Easter egg. However, if you notice, I think after he ran the course, he actually did pass it. I tested out the bar slider, and you know, it felt like the bent bar of the high parallel bars were just too high, and it was just too bent, and it was too easy to slide off. So literally at the last minute, we changed it to the monkey gap. We just added that thing. And the fact that he was able to beat it both times with very little rest in between change was very impressive from an athletic standpoint on his part. Now, when I was running the course, as you can see me here, I was very nervous. In fact, I think that nervousness got the better of me, because I completely blanked on the math question, which I should have known. But yeah, I was nervous because I thought I was going to fail, and even though, you know, I designed, and I was one of the first people to go, since, you know, it's my course and it's only fair. But yeah, I ended up passing. But speaking from some more technical sides, I feel like the camera shooting. Oh god, the camera strap got in the way in that shot. But I think with the exception of that, I think overall the camera shooting was better. There were some bleeding, some whitewash from the sunlight going on, so sometimes it's hard to see the skin. But I think when I was shooting, I was more mindful of trying to keep people in frame, but I don't think that truly improved until test 4. And one thing I think definitely improved with test 3 is that I made more sure that before the beginning and after the end of everyone's run, there was plenty of footage to make it much easier to edit. It is a godsend to have plenty of time to edit down before and after a run. In fact, I made sure when 17 records me, I made sure I told him about that. And it was funny, after I ran stage 1, he was like, "Can I turn off the camera now? Can I turn off the camera now?" I thought he had, like, I don't know, for like 30 seconds. And yeah, but I think that really improved. And fun fact, when I passed out here, I actually was legit tired. There was, no kidding, there was a razor blade. Hey, how's it going? There's a razor blade on the street, the parking lot, right next to me where I landed. I almost landed on an old thrown out razor blade. Obviously, it would have sucked if I landed on it, but because I didn't, it's something that you can laugh at. But yeah, I think passing that stage felt like a great accomplishment, and it used all my energy to do that, and it was just it was an incredible, fun experience, and I love this stage 3.